Have you ever looked at your overflowing trash can and thought, there has to be a better way? If you've been curious about a zero-waste lifestyle but felt overwhelmed by where to start, you've come to the right place. Today, we're breaking it down into simple, manageable steps that anyone can follow. This isn't about being perfect. It's about making small, conscious choices that add up to a big impact. So grab a reusable mug of your favorite drink, and let's get started on your journey to a life with less waste. First things first. What does zero waste even mean? It sounds extreme, right? But the goal isn't literally to produce zero trash overnight. It's a philosophy, a guiding principle to reduce what we consume and what we send to the landfill. Think of it as a spectrum. The core idea is built around the 5 R's: refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle, and rot, and we'll tackle them in that order of importance. Let's start with the most powerful R. Refuse. This is your new superpower. It's about politely saying no to things you don't need. Think about all the freebies you get that just end up as clutter or trash. That free pen from the bank, the plastic straw in your drink, the flyer handed to you on the street, the single-use plastic bag for one item. By simply refusing these items, you stop waste before it even enters your life. It feels a little strange at first, but it quickly becomes second nature. Just say, no, thank you. I don't need a bag, or no straw for me, please. This one habit alone will dramatically cut down your waste. It's about being mindful of what you accept into your home. Next up is reduce. This is where you take a look at what you're already consuming and see where you can cut back. It's not about deprivation, but about Start by auditing your trash. I know, it sounds gross, but just for a week, pay attention to what you're throwing away most. Is it food packaging? Paper towels? Coffee cups? This information is gold because it shows you exactly where to focus your efforts. If you see a lot of plastic food containers, maybe you can start buying more items in bulk or from a farmer's market. If it's coffee cups, maybe it's time to commit to that reusable mug we talked about. Reducing also means asking yourself before you buy something, do I really need this? Often, the desire passes, and you've saved money and prevented future waste. Now for my favorite R. Reuse. This is where creativity comes into play. Before you toss something, ask yourself if it can be used for something else. Glass jars are a classic example. They are perfect for storing leftovers, buying bulk foods, organizing pens on your desk, or even as a simple vase. Old t-shirts can be cut up into cleaning rags. Instead of buying something new, can you borrow it from a friend or neighbor? Can you buy it secondhand? Thrift stores, online marketplaces, and clothing swaps are your best friends on a zero-waste journey. Reusing also means choosing durable items over disposable ones. Think a reusable water bottle instead of single-use plastic ones, cloth napkins instead of paper, a safety razor instead of disposable ones. Each swap might seem small, but think about how many disposable items you'll avoid over a year, or a lifetime. Let's move on to recycle. You might be surprised to see this so far down the list. We've been taught to focus on recycling, but it's actually one of the last resorts in the zero-waste hierarchy. Why? Because recycling still requires a significant amount of energy and resources, and unfortunately, not everything we put in the recycling bin actually gets recycled. This is often due to contamination or lack of local facilities. So, the first step is to check your local council's website to understand exactly what they accept. This is called recycling, right? Common mistakes include trying to recycle things like plastic bags, greasy pizza boxes, or coffee cups, which can contaminate an entire batch of recyclables. So, while recycling is important for the items you can't refuse, reduce, or reuse, it's not the ultimate solution. The goal is to have very little left to recycle in the first place. Finally, we have rot. This refers to composting. Did you know that food scraps and yard waste make up a huge portion of what goes into landfills? When this organic material gets buried in a landfill, it decomposes without oxygen and releases methane, a potent greenhouse gas. But when you compost it, it breaks down naturally and turns into a nutrient-rich soil amendment that's amazing for your garden or houseplant. You don't need a huge backyard to compost. There are so many options now, from small countertop bins for worm composting, known as vermicomposting, to larger outdoor tumblers. Some cities even have municipal compost pickup programs or community drop-off sites. Composting your food scraps is a game changer. It dramatically reduces your trash and closes the loop on your food cycle. So, how do you put this all together without feeling overwhelmed? The key is to start small. Don't try to do everything at once. Pick one area to focus on. A great place to start is with a zero-waste kit for when you're on the go. Get a reusable bag, a water bottle, a coffee cup, and maybe a set of reusable cutlery and a cloth napkin. Keep this kit in your car or backpack. Once you've mastered that, pick another area. Maybe you tackle your bathroom. Swap your liquid soap in a plastic bottle for a bar of soap. Try a shampoo bar or look for refillable options. Then, move to the kitchen. Start buying your grains and nuts from the bulk bins, bringing your own jars or bags. Remember, this journey is about progress, not perfection. You will have moments where you forget your reusable bag or get a coffee in a disposable cup. It's okay. Don't let it discourage you. The goal is not to fit a year's worth of trash into a tiny mason jar on your first try. The goal is to be more conscious and intentional with your choices. Every single time you refuse a plastic straw, bring your own bag, or compost an apple core, you are making a difference. You are voting for the kind of world you want to live in. Another huge part of this lifestyle is a shift in mindset. We live in a culture that encourages constant consumption. The zero-waste movement is a rebellion against that. It's about finding joy in experiences over things, in community over consumption, and in quality over quantity. It can save you money, simplify your life, and connect you more deeply to your food and your community. It's an incredibly rewarding way to live. So, your challenge for this week is to pick just one thing. Just one. Maybe it's finally getting that reusable water bottle and using it every day. Maybe it's saying no to plastic bags at the grocery store, or maybe it's starting a small compost bin on your balcony. Whatever it is, commit to it for a week and see how it feels. Let me know in the comments below what your first step is going to be. I'd love to hear about your journey and cheer you on. Living with less waste is a path, not a destination. It's filled with learning, creativity, and a whole lot of grace for yourself. You've already taken the first step by watching this video and learning more. You're on your way. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you found this guide helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more tips on simple, sustainable living. See you in the next video.